And now Beth Little with the Sierra Club.
I'm Beth Little. I'm here representing the West Virginia chapter of the Sierra Club. Water is probably West Virginia's most precious natural resource. The coal and the gas will not last forever, but water will be here indefinitely as long as we don't wreck it. I come from Pocahontas County, which is called the birthplace of rivers because there are 8 rivers born there. There are some other rivers born in West Virginia, and we could be supplying clean water to a major portion of the eastern United States if we don't ruin it. Besides the rivers and streams, there's also the groundwater, which is what our wells and springs come from. And that can be polluted as well as our rivers and streams. I'm going to address one particular issue that I think is a real danger to our groundwater. This is a picture of a drilling pit with waste. I have copies to pass out to the press. I'm not sure you can see it from there. This is the pit at the very well, B800 in the Fernell Experimental Forest. There was just a report published on that about the impacts. And this shows the pit before it was buried, and the liner is totally torn. In fact, it looks like some major equipment drove right through the pit and ripped it up before they buried it. In these pits, in the drilling pits, is where they put the cuttings of the pieces of rock and earth and minerals and stuff that they drill through when they go down. And actually, these drilling pits have been a problem. I mean, they've been there for years. This is not new with Marcellus. The only difference is that with the horizontal drilling now through the Marcellus shale and the deepness of it, there's more stuff and potentially a lot more dangerous stuff. There are heavy metals, there are radioactive materials, and other toxins that will be in these drilling cuttings along with water, and they settle the solids, siphon off the water. With Marcellus, they're not allowing it to be sprayed on the land like in the old days. But then the solids are left, and they bury that on site, just a few feet deep, without any records kept of where it is. It's not marked. It's just there in perpetuity. And there are thousands of these pits buried all over the state already. The 2 bills that have been talked about so far today, and there's actually a couple more to deal with water threats regulations, are really long and complicated, but neither one of them actually address what we would like to see, and that is that instead of these pits, these materials, these dangerous materials being buried on site, they're removed and taken to an adequate hazardous waste facility so that they don't stay in the earth. Delegate Penny talked about an accountability act. If these pits leak, it could be 20 years before the materials actually enter the aquifer. And by then, I'm not sure how you could enforce accountability. So we would really like to see this issue addressed also to protect our water. People in West Virginia, a lot of them in rural areas, would have trouble affording bottled water to drink. They certainly couldn't afford it for their farm animals. And if the aquifers became contaminated, you know, we would have a really serious problem. So I hope this will be addressed too. Thank you very much.
That concludes our press conference. Thank you so much for coming. And the exhibits are up on the second floor. Go up and look around, or many of them.